Yeah, man, one. So, man, and I was making a video when the last time, and I was saying, man, listen, because I saw this Philip Scott and this Duke Jackson was going, we merging with the Haitians, and we merging with the Dominicans, and they were merging with Dominicans to attack and so-called Haitian or whatever they were doing. Man, listen, where we come from, I'm not considered to be Caribbean. I'm a real African from the jungle. I know it's going above your head, even above the head of many colonized Africans from the continent. Even if you watch my video right now, they will, yeah, those are the colors of the colonized. So, yeah. So, for them to be able to say these things are coming from the colonizer, they have to identify like you are. Just like I was saying, these city Negroes would say, because they were on the Jewish savannah, Yoda savannah, and they would say, Basi Basi Lukuwan Juka, when they would see somebody in the jungle, because they are the Jukaka from the plantation, and they would identify other black people with their own name. See that? But we are not the same. Let's see that immediately so we can see the proof. You see it over there? You see it over there? Let's maybe I can read a small bit of it. Here, Negroes, Negro is Spanish. Negro, that is Surinamese, Krua, but anyways, Negroes is a historical racial term for people of black African descent. Maroons were escaped slaves, so called, because that's what they say, escaped slave. This escaped slave story is what I mean. They will take their Negro children, and in order for them to be able to say they will come into the jungle through these Negroes, they have to say, we run away from the plantation. How many people? 300,000 people are in the jungle of where I live. So almost 200,000 are, if you count these Saramacanos and all these tribes in the jungle there. And you must think about this, that the criminal is telling the stories and writing the books. Do you understand that? The perpetrator is writing the history and what supposedly happened. And in the same sentence, they will tell you the Maroon of Suriname, these Okanas, are their biggest enemy. But they ran away from the plantation with about so many thousands of the. Let's leave it at that, man. Okay, and whatever. So this is they always want to linger and cling on to people and then say you are the tether because they don't know what these words mean. Tether is to cling on to something. If you're clinging on to my maroonness, you see that, Nasheed? You clinging on to my history. You and this James Smalls babbling, telling fantasy baby stories, toddler level stories with your James Smalls. It's not a joke. For you, it's only go out there and make money with other. You have no pride. You have no culture. You have no upbringing. You are not cultivated. You and James Small both. Yeah, otherwise, you would know your place in life. That these things you and Umar Johnson and these guys think you're gonna go to people place and tell them what they supposed to be doing like these fake Israelites. You would learn, boy. And anyways, man. Negroes is a historical racial term for people of black African descent. Maroons were escaped slaves who built free societies in the Americas, the United States of the Americas. United States is not America because Columbus went to Haiti Hispaniola. That is South America, totally different continent. You see my name, OKHANO. These people, the Caucasians call these people OKHANOs in 7060 or whatever they were doing. I know OKHANO. If they want to say OKHANOs, they live close to where I live, where I supposedly live. Let's keep it at that. They have their own king and own law and all that, just like Saramacanos have their own king. I don't consider their king or whatever in anything I'm doing, just like I don't consider no Caucasian in whatever I do or whatever race to be considered. I do not. You're not part of my society. I don't care what happened to Negroes in North America. It's stupid. We're just watching movies. And these people are supposedly living in trees, but you influence them. That's how stupid these Negroes are. I even see this Afro think tank. We still got a bit of African left. You got two hands just like the Caucasian. Are you now Caucasian? Oh, you probably could be. Because you with and this Afro think tank is maybe 35% Caucasian or so. And that is fine if you say you are black, then Caucasian are allowed to come out and say, listen, man, if this Afro think tank is 35% Caucasian and he is black, he's got my blood, so there is black people with Caucasian blood, so this Caucasian is allowed to say that they are black because you are related to them. If you did not have their blood, you would not be related. And since you are related, you are the same family, right? Family comes from to be familiar, known, known to you, familiar, familiarity, family. Yeah, you have no language. That's why you don't know these things. You see that? See that? But anyways, let me read it because I keep stopping and because of these fools, man. They have no culture. And even when I say they have no culture, they don't understand it. That's why I say even continental Africans will try to approach me like one of these Negroes. After a while, they will say, "Oh no, you are different." Because I'm from the jungle, this continental African cannot comprehend that there is village just like in Africa they got there with our own God. I'm not busy with Ogun God or Shango God or whatever they doing. Their God is not my God. I'm stupid. The God that my people know is from Tata Okonfan Dakwami Tata Okonfan Noche noemen ze. They call that God in Ghana, I think. Yeah, I've shown a movie a part of. Maybe I'll do a review about that movie again, man. That is the name that we know because the story. Yes, I was 6. Yeah, so yeah, man. It would be like 120 now because it was at 1984, I think, 1983. So something like that. So my grandfather would be something like 120 or 130 now. You see that? And I was with him. For you to understand that to me, you all here are children. Because if I was with my grandfather showing me things, teaching me, my grandfather made me even my bow and arrow, just like a real Indian from the jungle. Because Indian is just inlander, Indian, inlander, somebody from the jungle. That's all it. That's all it means. Inheems, that's why I was telling the Surinamese people, they say they are inheems. Inheems simply means the original people of that place. Are you the original people from beginning of time? If the answer is no, you're not the original people. That's what the Caucasian is gonna say in the court of law. You're gonna say you migrated from Siberia or from Russia. You are Mongolians from Genghis Khan. So you are a robber and an invader just like they are. What I'm saying right now is something that Caucasian is already saying. That these Native Americans were not friendly people. They were aggressive, attacking every other races that were present in the Americas. That's what they saying now. But anyways, man. So you see that see what I was saying. So this Okanus and it's like I write Okano, but they say Okanus. That's because of the Caucasian. Because my name is, for example, Njale. But this Caucasian is saying Jalis. You see that? Because they cannot pronounce Njale. They will say Jalis. You see? That's why I have to write it like that because they cannot pronounce it. But anyway, man, historical and social definitions. Negroes abroad, older English descriptor used during the slave trade and colonial eras to categorize individuals of black African ancestry. You see that Negroes for a slave trade colonial eras, maroons enslaved so-called Africans. How are they prove that they were enslaved? That's what I mean. Because many of these maroons they talk about if there was a 300-year period of bringing people over there. How can I be there in 1515 and somebody was brought there in 1866 and we are the same people? That guy runs away, he's also maroon. No, no, the perpetrator, the criminal is not gonna write my history. Just like Negroes are not gonna write my history because they are murderers of my race. Yeah, go to 1984, that was the last time. In 1772 was the one of those times when they started these black hunters. Let me read it. See that OKHANOs are one specific Maroon tribe in Suriname. Black hunters were militias of freed black men organized by colonial powers to track down those exact escaping Maroons. Yeah, who are these Negroes? Negroes are enemies of my ancestors. Any Maroon say they are. How can a Maroon say they are Negro? You see the convolution thing I was saying. They wanna dilute it. That's why Tariq Nasheed is pushed out here by the colonial powers. Go and say you are also Maroon so that we can create globalization. It will never happen. But my God will never allow it. My God will always destroy the enemies of my race. Yes, it will never stop. Go and ask these people in Suriname. You stupid. These people are cursed. They can never be my race. We work with bloodline, real God from beginning of time. You have none. Because these so-called white people you speak about, they are Italians, and those are not even considered to be white until less. And Irish were not even considered to be white. And these guys from Scotland, Druids, Germanic tribes. My country even existed before the Netherlands here existed. And I don't speak about Suriname. Suriname is from 1863. You see that? That's the real talk. Yeah. You show Negroes. You see that they are different? See, Aucanas and Duca and DU. DU, let's leave, let's not explain it. Because many of the so-called Aucanas, many of them are runaway Negroes from the plantation. And they will say, that's why I was saying, somebody from Paramaribo will identify as Negro, Paramaribo Wanica. My real people from beginning of time will never, they will tell, no, Negroes are enemies, man. They were bringing the Caucasian into the jungle, killing our people. That's why we had to go to the plantation and wipe them out. That's why they left Suriname. There is no Caucasian in Suriname. And that's why I was saying I'm not even Caribbean. Because I'm not considered to be Caribbean. My area of territory where I live is a country before there was any country. And I don't speak about 1804 Haitian. Haiti is more and close to Haiti is Caribbean. I'm not. I'm from South America. Guyana, we are not considered to be Caribbean. My people are considered to be strictly African from the jungle. That's it. Yeah, that's why I say if Negroes are claiming to be Maroon, I cannot be Maroon. That's why I place my name OKHANO and let them claim Maroon however they want to. They can never become OKHANO. They can become Aucanas, but not OKHANO. Aucanas is a made-up name by the Caucasian in 1760 to give these inlanders. Because that's why these people are saying they see the name Indian. Indian simply mean inlanders, has nothing to do with straight or Siberian or African. No, it's somebody in the jungle. Inlander, somebody in the jungle. Yeah, een binnenlander in Dutch, they would say. Not even binnenlander, because if you take it and country-wise, the Dutch could say the Netherlands is binnenland, so it must be an inlander, somebody in the jungle. When they say inlander, they mean somebody in the bushes, bushman. The bushman of South Africa, that is an inlander. The Arawaks of Suriname, that is an inlander. The Taino, that is an inlander because they live in the jungle. These Aucanes, those of my side, those are inlanders. The runaway ones, they claim Negro blood. If you claim Negro blood, you cannot be indigenous because you come from the plantation. You are diluted with the Caucasian blood. Therefore, you have no right even if you wanted reparation. And in my culture, I'm not even allowed to ask for reparation. My God will really deal with it. That's the difference between your people, your society, and mine. And you even see on YouTube, they are creating communities. If you're not part of a community, they don't watch your video, and I'm fine with it because internet is dead. That's why it's called dead internet these days. It's only bots. Government parties are paying for YouTube channels. It's fake. It's gonna be just like it was on the street. Nobody is going any longer to vote. They switch to other gaming channels, platforms like an Rumble or this other Twitch. That's what is gonna happen. Yeah, and you're gonna get this only Donald Trump 24/7 on YouTube with these foundational bug broken Americans that they got. Because their God will, they have no God. Does your Bible work when you pray? No. Does your Quran work when they pray? No. Just say it. So let me play this part and then let's see it, man. So you can see it when I say I'm not a Negro, and the parts I'm gonna show you right now, it's about that. You're gonna see that many Caribbean people from Anguilla will come and say, not so you see, I immediately thought about Angola because you have people there, islands called Anguilla. And in Suriname, we have this guerrilla group in those days. When I say speak on 1984 with Bouters and Brunswick, they call themselves, this militia used to call themselves Angola crew. No, not Angola crew, Angula. See, Angola, Angula. You see, and this island is called Anguilla, just like Guinea and Guyana. You see, but immediately Caucasian will say, you must not then bring those two together. They are totally different. But anyways, man, let's watch it. So you're gonna see many people from the islands. I was speaking on this thing before. So they will. Oh, this guy will even explain to you that Surinamese people like I am are not Caribbean. These black Americans cannot understand those things. It's just like you have the Louisiana Creole and the Gulagichi there in America. Yeah, it's the same thing. Those are totally different people normally, different area. They have their own language, maybe own music style and own. Uh, you see that? But anyways, let's watch it. Oh yeah, this is a part. The term Afro is not derived from the word African. The word Afro was created by black Americans to describe a hairstyle. You mean in 1863 when they came from slavery? Then they made it up? Because I didn't know that you were allowed to read on the plantation. I thought that Afro was something from beginning of time. And since you have Caucasian blood and you are the original Afro, so Caucasian are Afro, because you black Americans have 20 to 30% Caucasian blood. You saying it's not me saying it. So if there is people with Caucasian blood who are Afro, then Caucasian are Afro. And they are allowed to take America and all achievements so-called that you think you have. Hip-hop was created by Afros. Oh, from America? No, fine. Those Afro have Caucasian blood, so the Caucasian is allowed to claim it. Real talk. Move on, man. Okay, this girl is also one of the people who was complaining because many people will confuse them to be Jamaicans here. You see here, countries that are not Caribbean. Yes, Caribbean is the name of a tribe, Galibi. Sambo people live there, and the straight hair Indians who came from Canada. Straight hair Indians come from Canada. Indian simply mean inlander, somebody in the bushes. If you live in the city, you cannot be an Indian. Yeah. You cannot be an Indian if you live in New York City. It's a lie. You can only be an Indian if you would live in the Mississippi swamp or jungle or whatever jungle area you have over there. Then they would say, oh, in the slave days, they would say, oh, there is Indians over there. Oh, Indians, yes, some inlanders. Some people who are in the jungle. And then they would come and identify. When they saw my people, they say, oh, these ones, they look like West Africans. But then they saw the Saramacano speaking Portuguese. They said, oh, the Portuguese must have left them behind. You see that? That's why I have treaty. Only if you are indigenous native, you will get a treaty if you are there before the Caucasian came there. If you go to New Zealand, you will see the New Zealander, they have treaty. Every indigenous native people have a real treaty. Nigga? And that is what I was showing you here. 7060 was the last one. Do you see that? OKHANOs, a distinct major Maroon people group settled along the rivers of eastern Suriname. You see that I'm saying I'm from the east? I'm not from the west. The west is Saramacanus, that is closer to Guyana. Where I live is more the French side. I live between French Guyana and Suriname. So a part of my people speak French, a part of them speak and Surinamese mix with Dutch and English and African language mix. But anyways, man, see that? So let's watch the parts I was saying. So many of these people are being confused to be Jamaican, and they are saying they are tired of it. Like this one is Trinidadian, I think, and she's tired of people saying. So and this one is also saying she is mixed Jamaican and from Barbadian, and many people I've seen this. She's speaking on there is many mix of Jamaicans and Barbados people these days, and she was saying and how does it come and blah blah. But anyways, let's see it, man. So you will see these things I was speaking of.
Foreign day and they're Americans. Please stop assuming that everybody from the Caribbean is from Jamaica. And now tell you I'm from Trinidad. How you hear Jamaica day?
Yo, the man really think I got a Caribbean accent from Jamaica, boy. These people really think all Caribbean countries is inside of Jamaica. How the fuck you tell me, boy? You ain't take no geography class.
Y'all know my biggest pet peeve. Why is it that every time I speak and somebody has my accent, they automatically assume I'm Jamaican? Y'all do know Jamaica is not the only island, right? Seriously.
All right, let me just post it because I feel like people are
You see what I was saying? This is what I was saying in many of my videos when people will say, "Are you Surinamese?" If I say yes, they will think I'm from the plantation and I'm a Negro. So I have to say, no, I'm Okhano, I'm from the jungle. Oh, from the jungle? Yes. There is people living in the jungle. I'm not from the plantation. Yeah, but they ran away from the plantation. No, if somebody runs away from the plantation, if somebody escapes from jail and comes to your house, does it mean that you were not living in your house before he came there? Is it now his house? Was there nobody there because somebody escaped from jail into your house? If somebody runs from a plantation and runs into the jungle, does it mean that there was nobody already there? Because Columbus brought Africans to Americas and there was nobody already there before Columbus? That's comprehension skills, man. So let me show you this part is where this guy is gonna explain and show you that and where I come from is not considered to be Caribbean. Let's hear it, man. Because these people, they want to speak on things that they know nothing of. They want to compare everything. Only a weak person and a weak group will compare themselves to anybody else. I do not compare myself to anything or anybody. I'm just me, myself, and I. Man, know thyself. Only if you have no substance of your own in your home, you will go out there and try to steal people culture like James Smalls and this Tariq Nasheed. I am Maroon also. Maroon are from a different continent. South America. Columbus was never in the United States. He was in Haiti Española. Yeah? You are fake black Americans. Everything of these people is fake. The ground they live on is stolen from the so-called Native Americans. Then they go into the court and swear on the Bible to be children of God, while saying they are a secular state, that the church is separated from the government. But now all of a sudden we are Christian. So everything of these so-called Americans is a lie. When I say Americans, I mean the United States, because the name America is even stolen. You are the United States of the Americas. And African is a phenotype. Let me see if I can find. I will find it tomorrow or whatever. Then I'm gonna show you that African is just a phenotype, just like this guy was singing. No matter where you come from, Peter Tosh. If you see somebody like this guy on the North Pole, they will say an African is on the North Pole. How do you know? Well, he's colored and he's got an afro. He's got peppercorn hair. Oh, it's an African. What kind of African? The East African? Is it the Ethiopian African? Is it the South African African, the Bushman? Is it the West African, the Congo African? Is it the North African? Is it the North African mixed Berber African? You see that? When you have no culture, you don't know these things. It will hurt you if everybody have ethnicity because you are jealous. You have no ethnicity. You have to make one up. You are nothing in the face of people like I am. Because you want to come and compete to whom? I do not acknowledge no black Americans. They are the enemy of my ancestors, man. They were in the army just like I showed you, black hunters. They are cursed. My ancestors cursed them. Go ask them in Suriname and Paramaribo there. Real talk, man.
Panama is not Caribbean. South American countries are not Caribbean. Central American countries are not Caribbean. And Guyana, I'm not going to hold you. Y'all got lucky. But I'm going to tell you why. All right, so bear with me, right? So I had seen this post right here where it said countries that are not Caribbean. Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, Belize, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela, and Mexico. And now people, I love y'all. I love y'all, but a lot of y'all don't know your geography. Like you're mixing geography with history, with location, with culture. It's blowing mine. So a little preface before I start. Guyana is not in Caribbean waters, but culturally is Caribbean. That's why they get a pass. Suriname, South American, not culturally Caribbean. French Guyana, South American, not culturally Caribbean. Belize, Panama, Central American, not culturally Caribbean unless you're on.
You see that? And these so-called black Americans, even these Caucasian don't know these things. And they will come out here and start talking. You're from the Caribbean. No, I'm not from Caribbean. You Surinamese. Even the Dutch government will say to me, you are a Surinamese Dutchman. No, I'm not Surinamese actually. I never had a Surinamese nationality. I was born with the Dutch nationality in the jungle. Yes. I was never Surinamese even as a national. Oh, I never had Surinamese passport. That's a nationality, just like I was telling this Israelite. If Israelism is being Israelite is a nationality, there could be Chinese Israelites, there could be Japanese Israelites because it's a nationality. Just like you have Turkish Dutch people, Moroccan Dutch people, because it's a nationality. Ethnicity is exclusive. You cannot become Hollander because it's their ethnicity of these people in Amsterdam and Den Haag over here. They are Hollanders. They are the real Hollanders. But really in history they are invaders because the people from Friesland, the Frisian people, that is their ethnicity over there. They will tell you that this Hollander is an invader. Just like they tell you that these Native Americans is saying that these black Americans are invaders. Yes. Many of these Native Americans will tell you, this black American, they were not here. They came here and they are invaders. They are not our race. Just like in South Africa. Yes. That's why these black Americans is going around looking for other people to scream to. Because the Native American, if they meet these black Americans, they will tell them, sometimes they will tell you straight up, you're not from here. Huh? This is my land. Yeah, man, let's see it, man. Real talk, man.
Unless you're like on the coastline. Like, little preface before I start. Guyana is not in Caribbean waters, but culturally is Caribbean. That's why they get a pass. Suriname, South American, not culturally Caribbean. French Guyana, South American, not culturally Caribbean. Belize, Panama, Central American, not culturally Caribbean unless you're like on the coastline. Like technically the coastline villages of Panama and Venezuela could technically be considered culturally Caribbean, but they're not Caribbean. Colombia, Mexico, obviously they're not Caribbean. Damn near the only really thing in Mexico that's Caribbean is Yucatan, but that's really not even Caribbean. But let's get back.
I've listened to what this guy said in this video. Everything he said, I think is correct. Maybe I've missed something, but everything he said, like Suriname is not considered to be cultural Caribbean because my people live there. There are many parts of him of the jungle is antiquity people people like from living in for the village people in the jungle, just like in Africa. Many places in Suriname and French Guyana over there. You see, they don't consider them to be cultural Caribbean. They are more African and Native American culturally. Because the Native American so-called culture is similar to that of the African. That's why I can tell a Native American, your God is not my God. He is fine with it. If it's a real Native American, he'll say, fine, man. Your God is also not my God. Fine, man, move your way. If you say that to somebody that is colonized or was enslaved, they will say, there is only one God. What you saying? The Caucasians say that is what's gonna happen. You see that? So me and those people can never become one. And I don't want us to become one. Let them go to their own God. Because to my people, they are cursed for what they have done in slavery days with these black hunters in 1984 with their Bouterse, Brunswick, Angola, Cruz, Saramacanos, things over there with these Tucayana Native Americans. To me, they are all cursed with this colonizer. Stupid, you commit, you hurt innocent people. That's my culture. But anyways, let's hear it.
And Panama, because we all know these other guys are not Caribbean. Now, these slides will be very, very quick before I give y'all the geography lesson, but just take a look at the detailed Caribbean countries, all right? Y'all got that? Cool. Panama is right here. Guyana is right here. So far out. But let me break this down to y'all, okay? So my point of view is that a lot of people, especially our Caribbean brothers and sisters, are confusing Antillean/West Indian with culturally Caribbean with geographically Caribbean. And as somebody who's really versed in history and geography, when I see this whole battle on who's Caribbean or not, it blows my mind. The Antilles.
Yeah, because one woman was saying yesterday, like, she no longer identifies as black or African. She is West Indian, because that's how their name used to be. These people from the, you see, I say these people from the Caribbean because they live in a different area, really. You see, where I live is more is more considered South America jungle, Amazon jungle. See that? And Brazil, yes, where I'm from is Brazil. See that I'm from North Brazil. When I say, but if I say Brazil, Surinamese people's gonna say we are not Brazil. You see that? Even when I tell Surinamese people, Suriname is in Brazil. No, it's not Brazil. We are Surinamese. So it's the same foolishness. And all these things started from their slave days from 250 years ago. That's why they speak on 250 years ago, because then is when United States started this in 1776. And these sickos think they're gonna apply their sick culture to my race. You stupid. How can the enemy ever become my race? An Afro think tank. And this nigga is even a soldier right now with this bro Sanchez in the army of the Caucasian. Coming, move on, man. We live in real world. We have real culture. Real dog, man.
Isles within the Caribbean, the Greater and the Lesser Antilles. We consider that as Caribbeans to be Caribbean, mainland Caribbean, from Cuba down to like the St. Lucians, Lesser Antilles, right? Cool. Culturally Caribbean. Now that could be the Francophones, the Anglophones, and the Spanophones, whoever they are. If you got Carnival, you're culturally Caribbean, this, that, and the third. What's understood don't gotta be explained when it comes to being culturally Caribbean. We all know what it means. Geographically Caribbean. Now, this is where the problem comes in. A lot of countries who are geographically Caribbean, but not culturally, have been trying to blend into the Caribbean space, if that makes sense. And that's why I keep saying Guyana got lucky. Because Guyana is not Antillean. It's culturally Caribbean, yes, but it is not geographically Caribbean. Damn near.
Exactly. There is where I'm from. It's northern Brazil, Guyana. You have French Guyana, Dutch Guyana, and this British Guyana. You see that? And what he's saying is because of CARICOM. Just like we have, why I'm saying globalization, they have Pan-American, just like they have Pan-African, they have Pan-American. And those Pan-Americans, they are fighting my channels also, like, you're supposed to be supporting the Caribbean and not say that you're African. They doing the same thing. These so-called CARICOM people from Suriname also. You're supposed to be posting. And I'm like, no, you are the enemy of my ancestors. No, we're supposed to forget about the past and move on. Yeah, you will move on. I have God, you don't. Hence, you was doing all these atrocities you have committed with your ancestors from the plantation over there. Yeah, that's the real talk. So what he's saying is real talk, but it's also because of CARICOM. They want everybody in the to become Pan American. It's called Pan Americanism or whatever they do. They are creating a cult. Just like on YouTube, you create your community. That community becomes a cult eventually. Yeah, it's the same thing. While they were saying because YouTube used to be you just post your video, whomever wants they watch it. Now you have to come, yeah, let's create it. No, man, I'm not real that. I'm just making my videos. Then you even see that it has become dead internet. Because every group is now fighting against every community against community now on internet. It wasn't used to be like that. It was just come on internet and post your video, man. So and yeah, whatever is up to them. It's called dead internet. What they doing now is just pay for bots and boost videos to million views. Nothing, yeah, going nowhere. Real talk. Let's hear
It's
it, man.
not even in them waters. Lesser Antilles, right? Cool. French Guiana, South American, not culturally Caribbean. Belize, Panama, Central American, not culturally Caribbean unless you're like on the coastline. Like technically the coastline villages of Panama and Venezuela could technically be considered culturally Caribbean, but they're not Caribbean. Colombia, Mexico, obviously they're not Caribbean. Damn near the only really thing in Mexico that's Caribbean is Yucatan, but that's really not even Caribbean. But let's get back to Guyana and Panama, because we all know these other guys are not Caribbean. Now, these slides will be very, very quick before I give y'all the geography lesson, but just take a look at the detailed Caribbean countries, all right? Y'all got that? Cool. Panama is right here. Guyana is right here. So far out. But let me break this down to y'all, okay? So my point of view is that a lot of people, especially our Caribbean brothers and sisters, are confusing Antillean/West Indian with culturally Caribbean with geographically Caribbean. And as somebody who's really versed in history and geography, when I see this whole battle on who's Caribbean or not, it blows my mind. The Antilles are the isles within the Caribbean, the Greater and the Lesser Antilles. We consider that as Caribbeans to be Caribbean, mainland, Caribbean, from Cuba down to like the St. Lucians, Lesser Antilles, right? Cool. Culturally Caribbean. Now that could be the Francophones, the Anglophones, and the Spanophones, whoever they are. If you got Carnival, you're culturally Caribbean, this, that, and the third. What's understood don't gotta be explained when it comes to being culturally Caribbean. We all know what it means. Geographically Caribbean. Now, this is where the problem comes in. A lot of countries who are geographically Caribbean, but not culturally, have been trying to blend into the Caribbean space, if that makes sense. And that's why I keep saying Guyana got lucky. Because Guyana is not Antillean. It's culturally Caribbean, yes, but it is not geographically Caribbean. Damn near. It's not even in them waters, I guess. Panama is not Antillean. It's not West Indian. It is not even culturally Caribbean unless you're on the deep coastline. So your country is not Caribbean. Geographically, y'all still pretty much damn near Caribbean, but you're not really Caribbean. And the reason why I bring this up is because Venezuela, you don't see them in this problem at all. Like the coastline communities, like how Panama has, they know they're culturally Caribbean, but they don't consider themselves Caribbean. You feel what I'm saying? Venezuela has probably the deepest coastline in the Caribbeans. But you don't see the problem because they know that they're not in the Antilles. They're not culturally Caribbean. They are just geographically Caribbean. And to be honest, geographic Caribbeans don't really be claiming Caribbean. They'll be claiming West Indian, this, that, and the third, this, that, and the third. But this whole new Panama, where does Panama go? Where does Guyana go? I've been recognizing Guyanans as the Guyanese as Caribbeans since...
You see that? Exactly that. Because you have many of these, even I think St. Martin people even will say, I'm West Indian, man. It's normal to me because I know we understand that, like, oh, oh, this guy is from more down south. It's just like somebody from North Carolina, Mississippi, and New York. That's what he's explaining. Like where I live is more like see it from the distance from New York to North Mississippi or whatever, and I'm in Mississippi in the jungle. You see that? And they are more up there with Haiti, Jamaica, Cuba. They are more closer to Mexico and North America. You see that? There's these things what we mean. Like many of y'all don't know these things. To me, if I meet somebody from UK or Trinidad here in the Netherlands, even they say, "Hey man, oh yo, are you African?" No, I'm West Indian man. To me, it's normal. Oh, I will know. Oh, and it's from Trinidad or because many Trinidad people will identify as West Indian. Yes, real African will tell you I'm West Indian. Yeah, right? Maybe you didn't know, but to me it's normal because they are West Indian. You have East Indian, that is the coolie with straight hair, and then you have these curly hair people there who identify as West Indian or were identified to be West Indian. Whatever, I don't know if Columbus named. No, whatever happened is their business. Let's check it, man.
As far as I can remember, like they're pretty much the cousins of Jamaicans, and I know a lot of people won't like to hear that. But the Panamanians, where y'all coming from with this? Where?
It's true. Guyana is just they are Jamaicans. It's because they were taken over there. Yes, many of these people are Aquamo, even who are brought over there. Aquamo from Ghana, from Congo, Niger, Congo, Delta people from over there. You see, Nigerians. You see, many of them are in Guyana, and because we say Obia, you see that if I say Obia, all Jamaicans will say, "Oh, it's one of us from Akompong." You see, Maroon. They will immediately know, "Oh, it's one of the Maroon," because I will say Obia. You see, Guyanese will say, African Guyanese will even use the same term, Obia. You see that? And Ghanaian will use that term sometime, Obia. You see that? But as soon as I use this word, these people on the Jamaica will immediately say, "Oh, this is a cousin tribe," or these people ran away from us, or they were taken over there to Suriname, or Surinamese people were taken to Jamaica. Or because when they signed the Treaty of 1760, a Jamaican came to Suriname with the Caucasian to sign the treaty with my people. You see that? I shouldn't say my people, with the OKHANOs over there. They brought one Jamaican who was speaking African language, and he came there. I don't know if he came from the continent or what, but anyways, they went from Jamaica to Suriname, and they sent this Jamaican to speak African language with my people. Because in those days it was like 70, 60, like 300 years ago, in 1760. That treaty, because Jamaica's treaty, Maroon Treaty, was also something like that, 17 something in that area. But the Jamaicans and many of people in Surinamese jungle are Maroon. They are the so-called same people with the same kind of pantheistic god, because we have pantheism and animism. Pantheism. That's why you see the lion with the Judah people over there, because we have animism. And we express our things in nature. The Rastaman is always in nature. Many of them normally they don't eat no salt. Many of my people don't eat salt also. We have many same rules of godly things with these people over there. But anyways, man, so that's why he's saying many of these Guyana people, they are considered to be cousin of Jamaica, but the distance is really big difference. But they speak the same, just like Trinidad, Jamaica, Saint Martin, Guyana, Barbados. Yeah, man, many of these islands they have the similar accent, and that is the problem that they were saying, that everybody is thinking they are all Jamaicans. So the soon you speak and you sound like Jamaican, are you Jamaican? And many of these Trinidad people send kids that they get mad. But I'm not sure. Let's play it, man. Otherwise the video
Y'all
will become too long. Let's hear it.
coming from with this? Like, we know pretty much damn near Caribbean, but you're not really Caribbean. And the reason why I bring this up is because Venezuela, you don't see them in this problem at all. Like the coastline communities, like how Panama has, they know they're culturally Caribbean, but they don't consider themselves Caribbean. You feel what I'm saying? Venezuela has probably the deepest coastline in the Caribbeans. But you don't see the problem because they know that they're not in the Antilles. They're not culturally Caribbean. They are just geographically Caribbean. And to be honest, geographic Caribbeans don't really be claiming Caribbean. They'll be claiming West Indian, this down the third, this down the third. But this whole new Panama, where does Panama go? Where does Guyana go? I've been recognizing Guyanans as the Guyanese as Caribbeans since as far as I can remember. Like, they're pretty much the cousins of Jamaicans, and I know a lot of people won't like to hear that. But the Panamanians, where y'all coming from with this? Where y'all coming from with this? Like, we know, like, y'all got Haitian ancestors. We know y'all got Caribbean ancestors. But y'all eat empanadas for real. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all do Central American shit for real. Like, I see the Caribbean culture. I see the Caribbean influence. Not culture. I see the Caribbean influence. But y'all ain't really Caribbean for real.
Yeah, but the Caribbean influence is more reggaeton. You see, they took bubbling because these Jamaican, they had a music called bubbling back in the days when I was in the 80s. Boom, boom, with Goofy, Red Rat, all those guys, they used to play bubbling music. And this the bubbling music has become reggaeton. And this reggaeton, your house music that they use in UK, comes from a Jamaican also. His name was Frank something. Yes, I was on the academy of music over here. So, and it was some Jamaican, I think, who came up with it, with even the house music. But the black and so-called black UK people did not like the house music because it was just like bubbling, but he changed the snares in it. But anyways, it's it's something different, a different topic. But anyways, let's say it, man.
But you don't see the problem because they know that they're not in the Antilles. They're not culturally Caribbean. They are just geographically Caribbean. And to be honest, geographic Caribbeans don't really be claiming Caribbean. They'll be claiming West Indian, this down the third, this down the third. But this whole new Panama, where does Panama go? Where does Guyana go? I've been recognizing Guyanans as the Guyanese as Caribbeans since as far as I can remember. Like, they're pretty much the cousins of Jamaicans, and I know a lot of people won't like to hear that. But the Panamanians, where y'all coming from with this? Where y'all coming from with this? Like, we know, like, y'all got Haitian ancestors. We know y'all got Caribbean ancestors. But y'all eat empanadas for real. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all do Central American shit for real. Like, I see the Caribbean culture. I see the Caribbean influence. Not culture. I see the Caribbean influence. But y'all ain't really Caribbean for real. But let's get on to this, okay? Now I'm gonna give y'all some geographic history and some, you know, some cultural history so y'all could take this knowledge and bring it to the people talking trash, all right? This is a map of the Caribbean. The Atlantic Ocean is up here. That's why a lot of people don't consider the Bahamas to be part of the Caribbean. Panama is right here. You can see it's in Caribbean waters, but Panama is literally the bridge between Central and South America. All it is geographically, quote unquote, Caribbean. But if that's the case, Venezuela should be claiming Caribbean too.
You see that? Where he's pointing Venezuela, there is where I'm from, because we are next to Venezuela, because Guyana is next to Venezuela and British Guyana. Then you see where Caribbean is when I'm saying I'm not Caribbean, because where you see the green down here on the map, there is where I'm from. All these things you see up there, Haiti and Cuba, to us, they have different, not even different culture. My culture, because my people speak English patois also, and called Negro English, Neger Engels in Dutch. It's called Negro English. If somebody tell you it's taki taki, they are from the plantation, or they are imported from India or Java or whatever. It's not called taki taki. Taki taki means to speak. You're speaking, if somebody is speaking too much, they will say, you a taki taki. You are taki taki, just like yappy yappy. Yappy yappy comes from yappen, to talk in Dutch. Hij is aan het jappen, hij is aan het praten, he's speaking. But anyways, you see that green area where he's pointing with his finger? That is where I'm from the mainland. And you see all those spots above there? There is where they would bring you to train you. If you was a good house slave, you would go up north to go and work in the kitchen eating chitlins. If you was a rebellious slave, they would send you to Wild Coast, because where he's pointing was called Wild Coast in those days, Brazil. If they sent you there, you might not come back. That's why they would send you there to Willie Lynch area, you know, to get beaten down and to get destroyed or whatever. But whatever, man. And let's see it.
They don't. Guyana, Haitian ancestors. We know y'all got Caribbean ancestors, but y'all eat empanadas for real. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all do Central American shit for real. Like, I see the Caribbean culture. I see the Caribbean influence, not culture. I see the Caribbean influence, but y'all ain't really Caribbean for real. But let's get on to this, okay? Now I'm gonna give y'all some geographic history and some, some cultural history so y'all could take this knowledge and bring it to the people talking trash, all right? This is a map of the Caribbean. The Atlantic Ocean is up here. That's why a lot of people don't consider the Bahamas to be part of the Caribbean. Panama is right here. You can see it's in Caribbean waters, but Panama is literally the bridge between Central and South America. All it is geographically, quote unquote, Caribbean. But if that's the case, Venezuela should be claiming Caribbean too. They don't. Guyana, you see, they're barely touching it, but they share so much culture with Jamaica and a bunch of other Caribbean nations, the Patois nations, the Anglophone nations, that's why I be saying they got lucky with it. In the next 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, people won't even be thinking about if Guyana is Caribbean. But Panama, y'all gotta get it together. I don't know what y'all doing over there. I for real don't. If y'all want to give like the communities that are by the coastline awareness, do that. But y'all back mountain Panamanians from over here, that makes no sense, bro. Like y'all Pacific side Panamanians, it don't make sense as to why the Pacific side is, you know what I'm saying? It just don't make sense. Geography 101. So a quick summary for this, all right? Just a quick summary. Guyana, is it Antillean? No. Geographically Caribbean? No. Culturally Caribbean? Yes. Panama, Antillean? No. It's not in the Greater or Lesser Antilles. Geographically Caribbean? Yeah, it's in them waters, like Venezuela. Culturally Caribbean? Only the coastline. That's it. Like communities on the coastline. Y'all Pacific niggas shouldn't be claiming shit, okay? Venezuela, Antillean, West Indian? No. Geographically Caribbean? Yes. Largest coastline in the Caribbeans. Culturally Caribbean? No. Because it's only the coastline communities. So when I hear these communities or these cultures talking about who's Caribbean or who's not, we gotta start really breaking it down as to, do you mean geographically Caribbean? Because that's the case, there's a lot more countries in the Caribbean. There's a lot of countries that are in the Caribbean that are not culturally Caribbean. Y'all could look up the rest. A few of them border Venezuela. Because if Panama's in the Caribbean, it's not Nicaragua, it's not the Yucatan. You feel what I'm saying? Because y'all are geographically, y'all are not culturally. Guyana, they pass with the culture test. Geographically, no. Antillean, no. I just hope that does not go over y'all's heads. And I just hope that y'all could take this and learn from it. Because this conversation it shows where y'all lag, bruh. Like, the first time I heard this convo, I was like, they're mixing up geography with culture and history. Come on, y'all. Come on. And also, when it comes to Panama and this, that, and third.
Exactly what I was saying. You see that? We have the culture because of the geographic. They like, oh, you from that place. You must be. Then you have to correct them. And many of those people who work for the government, like those Negroes, they will want to have it like, no, we must all be Afro. No, we all must be Negroes because they have no history. See that? They are the devil because they have nothing. It's like somebody is down on the street and they want everybody else to be the same like they are. There's these Negroes from Paramaribo and these fake black Americans. Because Columbus was in Haiti. He was never in the United States. So Haiti would be America.
As a Haitian,
If
bro, we
Columbus
don't give a fuck about CARICOM. Like, we don't care about CARICOM. Panama. Heads. And I just hope that y'all could take this and learn from it. Because this conversation it shows where y'all lag, bruh. Like, the first time I heard this convo, I was like, they're mixing up geography with culture and history. Come on, y'all. Come on. And also, when it comes to Panama and this, that, and third, as a Haitian, bro, we don't give a fuck about CARICOM. Like, we don't care about CARICOM. Panama. Y'all ain't even in CARICOM. What are y'all doing? If y'all could claim Caribbean, the Nicaraguans would claim Caribbean. And they ain't Caribbean. Once again, Guyana is culturally Caribbean. So if y'all want to fight over who's Caribbean or who's not, please specify. Are y'all speaking about culturally? Are y'all speaking about the Antilles on who's West Indian? Or are y'all speaking on who's in the waters? Because both those three.
Was because Caribbean, most people Caribbean are English speaking people, man. See that? Even some Dominicano, if you tell them, and are you Caribbean, they will say, no, I'm Dominicano. I'm not black, I'm Dominicano. Yes, because of all these things. Many people don't understand that why I have to say, no, I'm not a Negro, man. I'm Okano from the jungle. African from Amazon jungle. Oh, it cannot be everybody was on a plantation. Oh, okay. I guess everybody was colonized in Africa, and everybody was, every colonizer have to be guilty then. So we're fine, toch? That is a stupidity, but anyways, let's watch it.
Differences affect the conversation. And what I've seen in this conversation is people are beefing over those three differences. But as always, I'm Zavi. Comment and discuss in the comments. I would love for any Guyanese or other Caribbean islanders to tell me how they feel about this and who.
See, that's why I don't speak on these Haitian revolution things, because they are in a different area and a different time. Haitian revolution thing was in 1804. Things I speak on is from the 15th century. Maroon days were 15th century, not and stay on the plantation for a year and then ask. I don't know those stories, man. It's new to me that Maroon were ever on the plantation for 10 years and then escape, because the slavery was 300 years. So how long were they in the on the plantation before they escaped? Hey man, when you talk, yeah. Don't come and talk to me. A criminal who committed a crime will not come out and make books, and you wanna believe those books. Anybody believe those books? I should believe what they have written about you also, that black Americans are 3/5 of a man, and that Africans are stupid, they live in trees, they have no culture, blah blah. But they will go and take these African artifacts and place it in their museum. Where is their culture to go and exhibit that? In their museum. Just like this so-called black American will walk around with dashiki, I'm African. No, it doesn't work like that. If I have a red shirt, they go and put on a red shirt. Now we are the same. Now you have two hands just like a Chinese. Are you because of that Chinese? You have two legs just like a Mexican. Are you because of that Mexican? If I put up a white hat and you put up a white hat, do we become the same because of that? If a piece of shit is black and you claim to be we all black, then you are that piece of shit?
They believe is Caribbean for real or not. But
if you said Cuba, then you would be correct, as an average Cuban is 70% European genetically, mostly of Spanish origin. Now, which country is the most African genetically? Haiti would be the correct answer.
So myths and reality about what the common things about that people get wrong about Caribbean.
okay.
Is that all Caribbean?
All Caribbean.
Island? All Caribbean?
All Caribbean. The first myth is the Caribbean is just beaches and vacation vibes. The second myth is everyone in the Caribbean looks and sound the same. The other myth is Caribbean culture equals Jamaican culture only.
And I was researching the population of each Caribbean country, yeah? And some of these actually blew my mind, so I'm going to share them with you lot. Starting off with Haiti, bro. We got 11.9 million people. 11.9 million. Bro, when the backside did all of you lot get over there? Did we all just decide to move to Haiti and not tell Niz? There's no chance that there's that many people living in Haiti, bro. The second most shocking one to me was Jamaica, bro. Like, apparently...
But there were even 100 million Africans in Brazil. Now it's maybe 60 million. When I say African pure blood, right now many of them are becoming mixed with this. They will send this and guys from Spain and Portugal over there to mix with the local population, changing it up. There are even more Africans. The place with most Africans outside of Africa is Brazil. Yeah, it's close to 100 million. Right now they are mixing it, like I'm saying. Maybe it's now 50 million or 60 million. Yes, so Haiti has 12 million. So the Haiti would be the second biggest maybe, I think. Because Suriname only have like 500,000 to 1 million. No, there is 1 million people in Surinamese people, and of those Surinamese Africans is something like 300,000 or so, maybe 200,000, 300,000. Okay. So and Brazil, because when I say Brazil, I mean Brazil like the country Brazil. Alright? They got the most Africans outside of Africa, close to 100 million. It was like 10 or 20 years ago, it was 100 million Africans in Brazil. So 20 years later, maybe it's already dropped to 60 or 70 million left or whatever, because they are mixing up. So let's hear it.
Estimated that there are only 2.8 million people in the whole of Jamaica. But then it even kind of checks out because all of you lot just live in Brixton, innit? So it's like, or even New York. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. The last one that kind of shocked me was Barbados, bro. Like, when I think of Barbados, I don't even think it registers in my head how small Barbados actually is. But there are only 280,000 people roughly living in Barbados. Like, Barbados is actually tiny, but it's like, when you don't even really think about these type of things. Like, when you think Barbados, you just assume it's kind of big, like, in comparison to other Caribbean countries, bro. But yeah, bro, mad. I don't know, like, 12 million Haitians, bro. There's no way. And I know I'm going to get niggas in the comments like, yeah, but Haiti is blah, 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 amount bigger than this, that, and the third, and, you know, blah, blah, per square mile. And, bro, I get all of that, innit? But 12 million people, I never knew that.
Are you Jamaican?
In Brazil, it's 100 million. Going down. Yeah, it was 100 million 20 years ago or so. And Africans living in Brazil. Just saying. So Haiti would be second largest, I think. But anyways, man, so this is the one I was saying about the Anguilla. So we have this place called Angola. In Suriname, we have the Angola crew. I was saying about the rebels who was coming into the jungle in those days, working for Bouterse. Those are Saramacanos who were working for Bouterse, and the Tucayana working for Bouterse. Even Brunswijk was working for Bouterse before he stole the money and went away. If you know the story. But anyways, this one is Anguilla, also in the Caribbean area. Let's hear it. What she gets to hear, like, yeah, let's hear it, man.
You're from Anguilla? Don't you mean Angola? Is that in Jamaica? What language do you speak? Is it patois? Oh, the weather here is very bad. Why'd you move here? Do you guys eat chicken in Anguilla? Where'd you say you were from again? Is it Ebola?
Why are there so many Jamaicans around? Every minute I'm seeing Jamaica and Barbados in people's flags. Jamaica and Barbados flag in people's names and bios. Why are there so many? What's happening there? Why are there so many Jamaicans? Why are there so many? Huh? What is it about us? Huh? Oh, I'm Jamaican, by the way. What? What is it? Huh? Why are there so many?
So to our first generation, like Chinese who living in England, just know we don't speak like Jamaicans. So he's not very rascal, but clack. We don't talk like that. We talk like a wireless talk here. Right? So we in Trinidad, we don't say, oh, the rascal, we say, let's stinking dirty mother. We just say that. Comes at the end. That's how we discuss. Right? And quite recently, just recently, we have a new thing that we say. Squirted, right? Just recently. That was just like about a couple days ago, but that's not new, right? So she doesn't talk like a wireless talk. Like we're talking here, that's how we just talk. And then if it wants to, like, you know, went to Convent and who's from the West, you know, who say that they're there and they are, they speak like that, you know. But know the difference, please. Thank you.
On another note, I would respect it if Americans will stop asking me if I'm from Jamaica. There are more places in the Caribbean, and I do not think that I sound like them. Where are you from? Are you from the Caribbean? Which part? Sounds way more better than, are you Jamaican? Excuse? Nothing against them, but it's frustrating to hear that everywhere you go.
Show up. Me and him get...
It's the same thing I was saying. Are you Surinamese? I'm OKHANO from the jungle. But this is the same thing. No, man. Negroes are from Paramaribo, Wanica. Native Americans are Wakaners from Hollandse camp there somewhere. These people, many of them are living, man, from planta. They live in plantations still today. Because they got the plantation from their colonizer. My people don't own plantations. Negroes do. In a place called Para, Coroni, those places, and Berlin, and those places, man. Hanover. Yeah, those are German names. I know, real talk. So this is Wyclef. He was with this, what is it, Godfrey guy, and they were speaking about this so-called FBA, and about this Buddhist, because this Buddhist culture thing is something that a Caucasian colonizer used to say to the Negroes on the plantation, and then when they saw the Africans, they applied it to the Africans. That's the real talk. I can show you the Jigaboo movies. All this Jigaboo that they are doing is what the Caucasian was making cartoon about, ridiculing the so-called Negroes there in North America. We used to see it on television even in Suriname. Yeah, the Jigaboo Negroes and all those stuff, man. So let's see it.
Bombed with this foundational Black Americans.
Oh boy.
We get bombed.
Like big time.
We were born in America. We're Nigerian American. We were born here.
First
our
gen.
friends, a lot of our friends are Black Americans.
Yeah,
We
grew up in Black
with them.
communities, yeah.
We grew up, and it's this whole thing of, oh, you guys are tethered. This tether.
I don't even know what that means.
It's tether means something attached. The tether's like you're attached to something. So I guess we're acting like we're them, but we're not really them, and we don't really belong with them. It's a lot of divisive.
Yeah.
Like you.
Exactly. See? This fake brotherhood is jealousy, hatred, and then they will make videos and say, you don't want to chill with us. While they're saying you don't want to engage them, you're not chilling with them, they say you're copying them. How would you copy something that you never engaged with? Why would you want to copy something you don't engage with? These people think, I don't, even when I say people, yeah, just let's leave it. It's because this guy got hair, just like I was saying, you're walking down the street, yo, you see you walking, you got that from the FBA. We are the foundationally Black Americans. No, I don't think so, because Columbus went to Haiti. Haiti is South America. Go back to school. Real talk, man.
Coming from Haiti, being in Brooklyn, going through what you've gone through, it's tether means something attached. The tether, we get bombed.
Like big time.
Excuse? Nothing against them, but it's frustrating to hear that everywhere you go.
Show up. Me and him get bombed with this foundational Black Americans.
Oh boy.
We get bombed.
Like big time.
We were born in America. We're Nigerian American. We were born here.
First gen.
Our friends, a lot of our friends are Black Americans.
Yeah, grew up in Black
with them.
communities, yeah.
We grew up, and it's this whole thing of, oh, you guys are tethered. This tether.
I don't even know what that means.
It's tether means something attached. The tether's like you're attached to something. So I guess we're acting like we're them, but we're not really them, and we don't really belong with them. It's a lot of divisive.
Yeah.
Like you coming from Haiti, being in Brooklyn, going through what you've gone through. How do you feel about that? I don't know if anyone's ever talked to you about that. Have you heard anything about this foundational Black thing? Because they feel like, you know, if you're part immigrant, you're not foundational. I mean, we recognize we're not foundational Black, but they say you shouldn't speak for us. What? I'm speaking just for Black folks because we're all going through the same shit. I grew up in Chicago. Police harassment, you know, same old call the N-word.
We had the same experience.
Same experience.
Because our roots are, you know, we're first gens.
Yeah.
So because of our roots, then somehow we're excluded from the experience.
Yeah. So how do you, I don't know.
Well, I think that, again, I hear everything. I see everything. I play for everybody. I'm around everybody.
Yeah.
And the conversations that I have is because I feel like the internet is louder than the one-on-one conversation.
No doubt,
right?
no doubt. Yeah.
My one-on-ones are very healthy.
Yeah.
And it's a phrase that says, l'union fait la force, which means unity is strength, right? So at the end of the day, it's very clear that the reason why you look at history, right? Because what happens is if you want to debate, then we just got to go with the facts of how history is. And the biggest part of history is this, like, why did they keep me away from you? That's all I want you to know. So if you're in America and I'm in Haiti, why did they keep me away from you, right? Because at some point, some ancestors, there was some kind of a connection. Like why they was like, okay, we're going to bring these people to Jamaica. You know, these, we're going to lead them in Africa. We're going to bring these over here, and then these are going to be shipped to America. Like, why? Right? And this is a big question, right? The question is this, right? So, and the answer to that question is l'union fait la force. Unity is strength. Divide is the only way that they could conquer, right? So at the end of the day, when rhetoric gets so loud, right, it's hard for people to look at what the truth is, right? So at the truth, if you love Frederick Douglass, and Frederick Douglass was Black American, right? If you love Frederick Douglass, you should read what he says about immigrants. Read what he says about Haitians, right? If you look at Harlem, New York City, and you are a Garveyite, you should look at Marcus Garvey. Like, he's pretty interesting, right? He would consider himself being from Harlem. These are all part of.
Yeah, but the Caucasian used to tell these black Americans that they stink on the plantation. Yeah, right? Go back to Africa, ask them. If the Caucasian is not saying that to them, since this continental African cream there is stopped a little bit, because these black Americans are now saying that to this so-called continental Africa. Go back to Africa. Go back to Africa. That is what this Caucasian used to tell them. You stink. Go back to Africa. And these things, and these are the same things that they tell so-called other black people. That's why I keep saying, no, if you are 30% Caucasian and you use the media to attack pure-blooded Africans, you are a racist, because a racist is somebody that is using their resources to attack another group of people. And that is what black Americans doing. That's what these Israelis are doing, even the Dutch government, NDP, ABOP, VHP, NPS. These are all parties around the globe. Even Donald Trump is the biggest one, and this Elon Musk. So weak is what they are, man. They are weak because they cannot compete. They can only compete. They can only be big fish in small ponds. Yeah, in Suriname, they would say, "Te you gonna busi petigrino de that kone play piano." So if there is real competition, they cannot compete. They have to go and call the cops, like you saw these so-called black Americans was doing, and calling the cops on my channels on YouTube with this Tariq Nasheed crew, acting like they are my people when they are not. My people don't have your experience with 30% Caucasian blood. That's you. Live your life and be dead. That's the real talk, man. But these Negroes will go there and try to steal your identity. I'm Maroon too, man. Well, can a Maroon become a 30% Caucasian? No. So how could you be a Maroon? Or even African? Yeah. Live in your fantasy on your own, man. Real talk.
Histories that maybe you might be missing.
Like, y'all really think that Jamaica is the only Caribbean island that there is?
Yeah. I when me reach that grade 6, me I hear about other Caribbean countries, you know. Hear about England and US. You know, barrel thing go already, you know, have to get up the Irish Springs. Yeah, man, when we start learning about the CARICOM business.
It is because everybody thinks that all these people, they are Jamaican, man. Let's say it. And
Grade 6, me I say, wait, but me there know say other people there. Yeah, man, me there, me I say, yo, I wonder what kind of music they listen to. Reggae. I wonder if they do track and sport. They come last. Football, last. Tourism, last. Make sense this, last. Relevance, last. So we start saying, well, if I saw you go, you know, better just Jamaica alone there than Caribbean because we alone this. We are bringing Caribbean, you know, and not evident. And I like say when they get up, I want to do it, but who don't know what to do it, so somebody have to do it. And no matter where you go, for you see a Jamaica, you're going to know say a Jamaica. Because the Bible says by their fruits, you shall know them. Don't care where a Jamaican have had over abroad, you have to find a way to catch one little Jamaica flag.
So this guy told people he's Bohemian and not a Jamaican, and they were laughing at him. Ah, man. Oh yeah, these are a few things that I had left here. So, oh yeah, this part is about South Africa. You see it here. Jacinta ends March movement because they lost money, and yeah, just like Black Lives Matter in America stole the money allegedly. You see that? And because one of the people was taking out. So this is the group that was saying that, and foreigners have to get out. They happen to be sponsored by some money from somewhere, and the money is now lost. They say allegedly. Let's move on. And I'm gonna leave it at this. See, the Caucasian in South Africa want the foreigners to come back because there is no one now to buy anything. Oh yeah, this is a guy was making this video that all the Caribbean children in the UK are becoming mixed, just like I was saying about Brazil. So they are losing their culture. Real talk. It's their business, man. So see here, March and March founder Yacinta Ngobesi Suma. Some Somali, Pakistani, oh yeah, and they are refusing to leave. But now their party is March is over, they say. So Zimbabwean are banned from Canada. Whatever. So they trying to deport Sneeko. Whatever, man. So I'ma leave it at that, man. So you see it here. March groups collapse. Jacinta exposes Ngizwe and Fakel over missing funds. March groups collapse. Jacinta exposes. See, they are all exposed because allegedly they lost money or money was stolen. See, they were being funded, just like the black hunters. See, it's all politics, man. At the end of the day, don't you see Trump was trying to even try to come in? I am Jesus. I am. So this and Jesus is bombing people in Gaza. Yeah. Yeah, when I say it, yeah, but you said, of course, man. That is whatever you have done, doing, and going about with each other is your business. What I'm saying is, live, do your thing over there. Yeah. You committed the crime, you go do the time. Yeah. Nobody cursed people will come and mingle with me. It's against my culture to mingle with cursed people. Real talk. If you hurt any innocent people ever, you are curse you and your children forever. That's the real talk. That's my culture. Maybe not your culture, but it's my culture. Alright. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And yeah, man, Lotus, you've seen it. Yeah, real talk. So when I come out here and say, no, man, I'm not a Negro, I'm not black, it's real talk. Because I got an ethnicity, OKHANO. You don't. So keep your jealousy with you. Your culture will never be my culture. When you go to the city, you go back to your own home. You have two hands like Michael Jordan. Can you play basketball like Michael Jordan? No. You have two legs like Messi. Can you play soccer football like Messi? No. Your thinking is not my thinking. Is your father my father? No. Is your mother my mother? No. So how could your God be my God when your thinking, your upbringing is not mine? Others, man.